Okay.
That if we have a problem unmuting or anything, but everybody seemed to be able to unmute themselves yesterday. So. Everyone's waiting to the last minute today. We only have 30 in. 2 minutes left.
Hey, Susan.
Hi.
You're doing a great job.
No. It's all teamwork. Laura
That's
had
true.
Laura and Suzanne worked, and Jennifer all worked on the script, and it's moving along very, very nicely.
It is. It's great.
I just have to be there to, see if anything is out of order, and it isn't. So it's beautiful.
We miss Erica so much because she was always keeping us on track. And no, we can't do that. So now we're all like, I don't know, can we do that?
I'm going to give it another couple of minutes. People are coming in pretty fast right now. I think we're going to go ahead and start, and I'll call us back to order for the 59th biennial plenary meeting of the League of Women Voters of New York. And we're going to start off with a report from the Credentials Committee, please.
Hi, everybody.
Nancy?
As of 1 p.m. today, Saturday, June 12th, a total of 118 delegates registered for the convention. There are 105 delegates representing 36 local leagues, 8 delegates representing the state board, 1 MAL unit delegate representing 1 MAL unit, and 3 ILO delegates representing 3 ILOs. There's also 1 delegate by proxy.
Thank you, Nancy.
You're welcome.
And based on the membership report of January 31st, 2021 at the LWUS database, 140 delegates are authorized to attend the state convention. 1/10 or 14 delegates are required for a quorum. Based on the credentials report, I declare we have a quorum.
Okay, I've got mine.
Okay.
Before we get to the first motions for program planning, I just want to review how you vote and how you make a motion. Voting will first take place by waving your hand. When I call for who's in favor, wave your hand. I will call for who's in favor, who's in opposition, and any abstentions. If, after we do the wave of the hand, if someone calls for a division of the House to get an exact count of pro and who's in favor and who's opposed, we will do a poll, a voting poll, the Zoom poll. And that will pop up on your screen. You'll check the box of how you want to vote, and the results will also pop up on the screen. The other thing I want to review is how to make a motion. To make a motion, you type your motion in the chat and send it to Jennifer Wilson, not to everybody. Send it directly to Jennifer Wilson. Then she will type it up on the screen, on the share screen, so you see the motion. When we have debate, instead of 2 microphones, what you're going to do is send your name, your league, and whether you want to speak pro or con for the discussion that's going on for the amendment or the motion that's on the floor. And you will send that to me. So motions go to Jennifer Wilson, pro-con debate goes to me, and then I'll call on you in the order that the pro and con come up for debate. Any questions about that today? Not seeing any. I'm calling Sally Robinson. Will you come back with your first motion, please?
Yes, the first motion is to retain all the current positions of the League of Women Voters of New York State.
The motion does not need a second. Is there discussion? Questions? Give it a couple of seconds here so we don't miss anybody. If there's no debate, I'll move to ask for a vote. There's a question, Sally. Where can all the positions be read? Do you want to take that?
In online on the League's website, an impact on issues. There's a link to it in the League's website under, I think it's under our work on the new website.
If there are no more questions, I'll move to the vote. The vote will be, Jennifer, can you put the motion up, please? It's motion number 11. The motion is to retain current league LWV positions as a whole without changes.
Oh, no, it's the next motion.
No, it's the next.
Next one, I think. I think it's the next, no, all right.
This is
all right,
it.
Sorry.
Retain
Back
current
11,
positions.
yeah. It didn't read
Retain
the
current
whole, but-
positions. Yes,
Right, all current positions.
all current positions. All those in favor, please wave your hand. Okay, stop waving. All those in opposition to retaining our positions, all of our positions? Not seeing any opposition, I'm going to ask anybody who has abstained to let me know. Raise your hand, please. Okay. Seeing no abstentions, the motion has carried. Sally, motion number 12, please.
To adopt the concurrence on the League of Women Voters of, oh, well, okay. It's the wrong way in the script here. To adopt the one-year study on election administration. The structure of, it should say the structure of election administration.
Okay. This motion does not need a second. Is there any discussion, any questions for clarification? To remind everyone to vote, you have to have your camera on. Okay, I do not see, and I'm not getting any motions seeing any motions. Jennifer, could you put the motion up, please? Again. Motion 12 is to adopt a one-year study on the structure of all election administration. Can I have a raise of hands for all those in favor, please? Okay, you can put your hands down. All those in opposition, please raise your hand now. And any abstentions, please let me know. Raise your hand. The motion has passed. Motion number 12 has passed. Sally, motion number 13, please.
Adopt the concurrence on the League of Women Voters of California position on criminal justice.
The motion needs no second. Are there any questions for clarification? I have two new messages. Hold on. Okay. Questions for clarification or debate? Seeing none, I'll ask for a vote. All those in favor of adopting a concurrence with LWV of the LWV of California position on criminal justice. All those in favor, please raise your hand. Thank you. You can put your hands down. Any opposition? Please raise your hand. I'm not finding any opposition. Is there any abstentions? Please let me know. Raise your hand. One abstention. The motion passes. Motion number 13 passes. And I believe that completes it, Sally. We
Okay,
did not
thank you,
have any
everyone.
non-recommended items. Thank you all very much. I think we can go on to consideration of resolutions and action motions. Action motions propose the convention as a body take an administrative or legislative action based on league positions. Resolutions express the will of the convention body during the time of its convening. Michelle Lamberti is the chair of the Resolutions and Action Motion Committee. Michelle, we will unmute you and you can go ahead with your motions, please, and your report.
Thanks, Suzanne. So the Resolution and Actions Committee met this morning. We considered one resolution. There were no action motions. And the committee, sorry, I'm looking for the exact language. Our committee unanimously moved to adopt the resolution in support of a declaration of climate emergency. And we would move that we adopt the resolution in support of the declaration of climate emergency.
Okay, I'm just trying to, sorry, keeping up with my messages in the chat. I want to clarify the last vote. I missed one. There was one vote in opposition and one vote abstaining in the last vote for motion. I think it was 13. Sorry, Michelle. Okay, so the resolution for wait a minute, I lost my place. Sorry. The motion is to adopt a resolution in support of the declaration of climate emergency. I hope you've all had a chance to read it. Are there any questions or debate on this issue? Marlene Colbert Larchmont would like to speak in support.
Yes, I would like to say that I think it's an extraordinary opportunity, particularly for all of our local environmental groups, to support of the voters, and perhaps to join in concert with some of those, since a lot of our local administrators have just heard from the environmental people in the community. So if the League of Women Voters would come and say this is an absolute necessity, we need to get involved and do this, I think it would be a great help to all of the environmental groups that are working throughout the state. So thank you.
Thank you. I have another person who wants to be recognized on the resolution, and that would be Barbara Gunderson, please.
No, I don't want to speak on this one. I was
Oh,
opposed
okay.
to the climate justice one.
That's what we're talking about. The criminal
Oh, no,
justice,
the
you mean?
criminal justice. We're talking about
Okay.
climate justice now.
Yes, now we are. Okay, sorry for the confusion, Barbara. Yes, we're talking about the climate emergency declaration, the resolution to adopt it. Okay, and then I happen to ignore the last message I saw. So I think we can bring this to a vote. All those in favor of this resolution? Jennifer's putting it back up on the screen.
A second for this one.
Adopt the resolution in support of the declaration of climate emergency.
Second,
Oh. I need a second for this. And who was that, please? Marlene. Okay.
second,
Marlene, what's your last name?
Kolbert, Colbert.
And your league, please.
Larchmont, New York, and it's Kolbert.
Okay.
And Suzanne, Rebecca has her hand raised.
Rebecca, yeah, I'll recognize you.
I apologize. That was an accident.
Oh.
Oh, okay. All right, now we'll go to a vote on motion 17, adopt a resolution in support of the declaration of the climate emergency. All those in favor, please wave at me. Okay. Everybody can put their hand down. Any opposition, please raise your hand to this motion. I'm going to look very carefully this time.
And we're
Finding
not
no-
taking actual votes, so we're not keeping track. It's just the sense of the group as if we were taking a voice vote. So yes, I understand people opposed the other one, but it's not that we have to keep track of how many on those, because this is similar to a voice vote if we were doing this in person.
Okay, so all I need is, would you raise your hand if you were abstaining on the last motion, please? The climate emergency declaration motion. Okay, I don't see any abstentions. So the motion passes. Thank you very much. And I think the next we will go to bylaws amendments. Sheila, would you please present the bylaws amendments? So we're going to go back, Jennifer, to motions 3 through 9, I think. If you could put them each up as we go, it would be helpful.
Okay, motion number 3, no second needed. I move to adopt the proposed bylaw amendment to add Article 2, Section 3.
Okay.
Are we going to do this one by one?
Why don't you just read the rationale
Fine.
quickly, because they're short and it'll remind people.
Okay, the rationale is this amendment is required to be in conformity with the first 3 articles of the League of Women Voters of the United States bylaws as required by the League of Women Voters of the United States.
Okay, any discussion or debate? Seeing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor, please raise your hand. Give me a wave. Okay, hands down. All those in opposition, please raise your hand. Seeing no opposition. Any abstentions? Please raise your hand. Seeing none, the motion carries. Motion number 3, please.
I think I already did number 3. It's number 4.
Oh, sorry, number
That's
4.
okay.
Sorry,
Someone did such a good job of preparing me that I have everything right in front of me, so. Motion
Okay.
number 4, no second needed. I propose that we adopt the proposed bylaws amendment to Article 3, Section 2. And the rationale, well, just let me make sure I'm looking at the right. Yes. The rationale, it's proposed that the president, instead of the treasurer or the secretary, sign contracts, loans, etc., as this is usually required on these documents. In Section 6, the words, I guess I can wait to talk about Section 6.
All right, that's next.
Okay. So are we going to
Okay.
vote on this? We're going to vote on this motion? Motion number
Yes.
4.
Motion number 4.
Suzanne, there's an error. The motion is on, Sheila was talking about the next motion. This is for Article 3, Section 2, Sheila.
Oh. I thought we already voted on that. Motion number 3 is Article 2, Section 3, right?
Correct. Now you're on Article 3, Section 2. Yep.
Wait a second. Oh, Article 2, Section 2, Article 3, Section 2. Okay. Article 3, Section 2. Okay, I've made that motion, right?
Yes.
And the
Just give us
rationale,
the rationale.
I will. Sorry about that. This amendment deletes the word honorary in front of life members to be consistent with the League of Women Voters United States language. It also defines a student member in conformity with the League of Women Voters of the United States and removes confusing language about associate members.
Okay, are there any discussion or debate on this? Wait a second. Seeing none, could I ask for all those in favor to please raise your hand? Any opposition? Oh, wait, put your hands down, put your hands down. Now ask for opposition to the amendment. And if you are abstaining, could I please see a show of hands, please? The motion passes. Okay, new start, Sheila. Motion 5.
Motion
There we
number
go.
5. No second is needed. I move to adopt the proposed bylaws amendment to Article 4, Section 3, 5, and 6. And the rationale, it's proposed that the president, instead of the treasurer or the secretary, sign contracts, loans, etc., as this is usually required on these documents.
Any questions or debate on this motion?
I need to add one thing to the rationale. May I do that?
Yes.
In Section 6, that's actually, in Section 6, the words "or financial review" are added as the state league is not required by nonprofit law to have a full audit completed.
Okay, now if I could ask, are there any questions for clarification or debate? Seeing none, I'm going to ask for a vote. All those in favor, please wave at me. Raise your hand. Okay, stop waving. Thank you. And all those who are opposed, please wave your hand. Okay. And if you've abstained, would you please let me know by raising your hand? Thank you. The motion passes. Sheila, motion number 6, please.
Motion number 6, I move to adopt the proposed bylaws amendment to Article 5, Sections 3, 4, 5, and 9.
The rationale, please.
The rationale is the proposed amendments to Article 5 brings Section 3, A and B in line with current applicable New York State nonprofit statutes. They also clean up some of the language concerning increase the number of state board meetings to a minimum of 4 per year, and have the bylaws in conformity with the actual procedures for board reimbursements.
Thank you. Are there any questions or debate on this motion? Please put something in the chat to me. Seeing none, I'm going to ask for all those in favor to raise your hand. Okay, you can stop waving. Thank you. All those opposed, please raise your hand. Any abstentions, please let me know. Raise your hand. Thank you very much. The motion passes. Sheila, motion number 7.
Motion number 7, no second is needed. I move to adopt proposed bylaws amendment to Article 7, Sections 2 and 3. And the rationale is this amendment was proposed by the League of Women Voters of Rochester and is recommended by the state board as well. It cleans up the language for life members and also adds the exclusion of PMP for student members, which the state league has not charged in decades, if ever. League of Women Voters of US recently changed to no longer charge PMP for student members as well. Section 3 was added to facilitate the ongoing operations of the League of Women Voters of New York that are under the direction of the executive director.
Thank you, Sheila. And I want to add one line to that rationale to let people know that Section 3 includes limitations set by the board, which would be done at least annually by a board vote and resolution on what the limitations would be. So are there any questions for clarification or debate?
Aye.
Oh, wait, my chat gets shut off here. Sorry. I'm not seeing any questions for clarification or debate. Am I missing anybody? Seeing none, then I'm going to ask for a vote in favor of this motion. Please raise your hand if you're in favor. Thank you. You can stop waving. Are there any oppositions to this motion? Please raise your hand. And if you have abstained, could you please let me know? I don't miss anybody. Thank you. The motion passes. Sheila, motion number 8.
Motion number 8, no second is needed. I move to adopt proposed bylaws amendment to Article 8, Section 3B. The rationale, adding the word, quote, voting, unquote, simply clarifies this process.
Okay, do I have any questions for clarification or debate? This was kind of a housekeeping measure. If I could have a vote in favor of this motion, please raise your hand, wave your hand at me. Thank you. And you can put your hands down. Anyone opposed, please raise your hand. And if you're abstaining, could you please let me know by raising your hand? Okay, thank you. The motion passes. And you're almost home, Sheila. One more, motion number 9.
Motion number 9, no second needed. I move to adopt proposed bylaws amendment to Article 14. And the rationale is that these proposed changes are simply grammatical corrections.
Okay. Any questions or debate on this, on the grammatical corrections? Okay. All those in favor, please wave at me. All right. Any opposition to this? Oh, put your hands down. Sorry. Put your hands down. Any opposition? Thank you. If you've abstained, please raise your hand. Let me know if I missed anybody. All right, the motion passes. Thank you all. This is mostly housekeeping, but necessary housekeeping for our bylaws, which are our guiding document in terms of our governance. So I'm going to give everybody a 10-minute break, and then we'll come back and finish up.
Did you just say a 10-minute break? My Zoom went wonky.
Yeah, 10-minute. Yes, 10-minute break.
Thank you.
Okay, welcome back, everybody. Next on our agenda is vote on the proposed PMP, which is motion number 15.
Hi.
Lori
Hi.
Robinson. Hi.
Hi, my name is Lori Robinson and I'm from the Buffalo Niagara League. The motion is to adopt the 21 to 22 per member payment of $23 per individual and $11.50 per additional household member. Again, this is not an increase. This is just confirming what our PMP is.
And this does not need a second. Are there any questions for clarification or debate on this motion? Seeing none, I call for all those in favor, please raise your hand. Okay, you can stop waving at me. And all those in opposition, please raise your hand. And if there are any abstentions, could you let me know, please, by raising your hand? The motion passes. PMP will be recorded as voted, as approved. That's the word I wanted, approved. Now, motion number 16, Lori Robinson on the budget, please.
Okay, motion number 16 is from the Budget Committee. No second is needed. This is to adopt the 2021 to 2022 New York State budget as presented yesterday, very thoroughly by Laura.
Are there any questions for clarification or debate on this motion? Please send me a note in the chat. Seeing none, Nancy Rosenthal, are you waving at me? No, she's not waving at me. Okay, not waving. Okay, now you can wave. All those in favor of the motion, please wave your hand. Now, Nancy. Okay, thank you. Put your hands down, please. All those in opposition, please raise your hand. If there are any abstentions, could you raise your hand and let me know, please? The motion on the budget for the 21-22 LWV budget passes. Thank you very much, Lori. Now we get to the super fun part. I can find Kate. We're going to do the election of officers and
Suzanne,
directors.
Kate's
Yeah.
not with us today. She couldn't be with us today. Sorry, I thought you knew that. Sorry. So
Okay.
it's up to
Well,
you.
I got it. I've got it. Okay. We had no nominations from the floor. So unless there is opposition to this, I will ask the secretary to cast one vote for the slate for everybody. Is there any opposition to this? Do I have unanimous consent for this? Yeah. Is that the way to ask for it, Susan? Did I do that right? Okay.
There is an opposition that I see in the chat.
Or a question.
I
How
have
about raised hand?
Yes, I have one person in opposition to unanimous consent. So can I have a vote? All those in favor? I think I have to have, if there was an objection, so we will vote for the offices one at a time. It's not necessary to speak to your opposition, only to note it. So we will start with the office of the president. The president, Judy Gornstein, has been nominated as the next president of LWV NY for the 2021, 2022, 23 term. All those in favor, please raise your hand. Okay, put your hands down. All those in opposition, please raise your hand. And any abstentions to this vote, please raise your hand. Okay. Judy Gornstein is the next president. The candidate for first vice president, voter service, is Nancy Rosenthal, LWV Southwest Nassau County. All those in favor, please raise your hand. All those opposed? Oh, put your hands down, please. All those opposed, please raise your hand. Thank you. Any abstentions, please raise your hand and let me know. Nancy Rosenthal is the next first vice president for voter service. The second vice president, the nominee for issues and advocacy, is Sally Robinson, LWV New York City. All those in favor, please raise your hand. All those in opposition, put your hands down, please. Sorry. All those in opposition, please raise your hand. Okay, thank you. Put your hands down. Any abstentions, please raise your hand and let me know. Sally Robinson is the next second vice president of issues and advocacy for the LWV NY. The third vice president position is Regina Tillman, LWV Albany County. All those in favor, please raise your hand. Okay, hands down, please. All those in opposition, please raise your hand. Okay, hands down. Abstentions. Please let me know. Raise your hand. Okay. Thank you. Regina Tillman is elected third vice president. For secretary, Patty Garrett of LGBTV Saratoga. All those in favor of Patty Garrett as secretary of LWVNY, please raise your hand. Okay, hands down, please. Sheila, hands down. Okay, all those in opposition, Shirley, put your hand down unless, okay. All those in opposition, please raise your hand. Okay, if there's any abstentions, please raise your hand and let me know. Okay, Patty Garrett is elected secretary from LWV Saratoga. Thank you, Patty. Treasurer Lori Robinson from LWV Buffalo Niagara. All those in favor of Lori Robinson, please raise your hand as treasurer. Thank you. Put your hands down. All those opposed, please raise your hand. Okay, and if there are any abstentions, please let me know by raising your hand now. Thank you. Lori Robinson is elected treasurer from LWV Buffalo Niagara. The at-large directors on the slate are Jane Colvin, LWV NYS New York City. All those in favor, please raise your hand. Thank you. All those opposed, please raise your hand. And if you're abstaining now, please raise your hand, let me know. Thank you. Jane Colvin is elected a director at large from New York City League. Nick Doran from League of Women Voters, Broome, Tioga Counties. Nick is on the slate as an at-large director. All those in favor, please raise your hand. Thank you. Put your hands down, please. All those opposed, please raise your hand. Thank you. All hands down, please. Now, if you're abstaining, please raise your hand and let me know. Okay, Nick is elected as an at-large director from Broome, Tioga Counties League. Crystal Joseph from League of Women Voters, New York City. All those in favor of Crystal Joseph, please raise your hand. I should have said as an at-large director, sorry. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, hands down. Vote in opposition to Crystal's nomination, please raise your hand. Seeing none, I ask for abstentions. Please raise your hand, and everybody else keep your hand down, please. Okay, welcome Crystal, League of Women Voters of New York City. Joy Rosenzweig from League of Women Voters of Newcastle is on the slate as a director at large. All those in favor of her nomination, please raise your hand. Thank you. Hands down. All those in opposition, please raise your hand. Okay, hands down, please. And any abstentions, please let me know by raising your hand. Thank you and welcome Joy Rosenzweig to the League of Women Voters New York State Board. And Kathleen Stein, League of Women Voters St. Lawrence Mal Unit as a director at large. All those in favor, please raise your hand. All right, thank you. Hands down, please. Okay, any opposition, please raise your hand. Okay, all hands down, hands up only if you're abstaining, let me know, please. Thank you, and we welcome Kathleen Stein to the League of Women Voters New York State Board. Next on the slate is the 21-23 Nominating Committee. There are 3 positions, the chair, Kate Jankowski of League of Women Voters of Rensselaer County. She's experienced now, it's her 2nd term. All those in favor, please raise your hand. Okay, thank you. Any opposition, please raise your hand. Okay, all hands down so I can see. Has anyone abstained? Please let me know. Raise your hand. Okay. Kate Jankowski is elected as chair of the nominating committee. There are 2 members who are elected to the nominating committee. The first is Dare Thompson, League of Women Voters, Mid-Hudson Region. All those in favor of her nomination, please raise your hand. Thank you. Hands down, please. Any opposition to this nomination, please raise your hand. Thank you. All hands down, please. Raise your hand if you're abstaining and let me know. Thank you. Okay, welcome Dare Thompson to the nominating committee for 21-23 and Mary Lou Cooper Green, LDBV of Scarsdale, to be a committee member on the nominating committee. All those in favor, please raise your hand. Thank you. Put your hands down, please. All those opposed to this nomination, please raise your hand. Thank you. All hands down, please. And let me know if there are any abstentions. Raise your hand. Thank you. And that completes the voting for your League of Women Voters of New York State Board and your nominating committee for the next biennium. And let's give them all a hand and a big welcome. They've got a lot on their plates for the next 2 years. So, okay, now I get to do my favorite part, membership awards. And we have, we honor the local leagues who've increased their membership. That's our first award. We're talking about our membership in the last 2 years. And this is all based on the LWVUS database as of January 31st. So this is just a reminder, if you want to be competitive for this, you've got to get that information to us accurately every January. So the winner of the Audrey Prize, we have 3 categories, I should tell you. 3 categories: small leagues with membership under 50 people, medium leagues with membership from 50 to 150, and large leagues with membership of over 150. And this year's awards, and Laura, did you get pictures of them? Are we putting anything up on the screen? Okay, this year's award, the winner of the Audrey Price Memorial Membership Award for small size leagues is the League of St. Lawrence Mal Unit. Well done, well done. An honorable mention because there were significant increases in some other leagues too of that size was LWV of Cattaraugus and Allegheny Mal Unit, the LWV Casanova, LWV Central Nassau, LWV East Nassau, and LWV Geneva, and LWV Putnam, and LWV Smithtown. Wow, you all have been really out there in the middle of a pandemic. Congratulations. And the winner of the Anna Lord Strauss Membership Award for medium-sized leagues, the League of Women Voters of New Rochelle. Great going. And honorable mention also, we had a lot of activity there. Honorable mention, League of Women Voters of Brookhaven, of the Hamptons, Shelter Island, and Norfolk, League of Women Voters of Huntington, League of Women Voters of Mid-Hudson Region, North County, and Rensselaer, League of Women Voters of Riverstown, League of Women Voters of Rybrook, and Port Chester, League of Women Voters of Syracuse, and League of Women Voters of Tompkins County. Great work. Everybody has increased those memberships. And the winner of the Harriet D. Goldberg Membership Award for the large league was League of Women Voters of Albany County. Congratulations all. Thank you, thank you, thank you for all your hard work towards that. And it's amazing that that all happened in the last 2 years. And I think on your share screen, you can see the plaques. And now if you remember, in Dr. Turner's talk yesterday, she mentioned that the National League was enjoying such great financial well-being because they had amazing donations in this last year. And they have shared it with all 50, with leagues across the states and the territories. And we decided to take our $2,000 and give it out as awards to local leagues, but we made a kind of contest about it. And you had to send in your ideas for getting out the vote or what you were going to do during the redistricting campaign. And otherwise, you could use the money as you wished for either of those activities. And there were so many great ideas that came in. The state, we found another $1,000. So we had $3,000 to give out. So for the awards in Get Out the Vote, the criteria we used to evaluate the applications was a creative approach, to reach new populations, using new methods to reach voters, collaborating with other community organizations, and developing ways to collect data to evaluate the impact of their efforts. And the winners for the Get Out the Vote are League of Women Voters of New York City and League of Women Voters of Buffalo will get $500 each. Additional winners receiving $250 each for Get Out the Vote are League of Women Voters Utica Rome and League of Women Voters Chautauqua. For the awards and redistricting, congratulations, by the way, all of you. For the awards in redistricting, the criteria used included collaborating, engaging other community organizations, new methods for educating the community, and again, collecting data to evaluate the impact. The winners for the $500 awards each for redistricting are the League of Women Voters of Rochester, the 4 leagues of the Capital Region, Albany, Rensselaer, Saratoga, and Schenectady, and the League of Women Voters of Nassau County, ILO. Congratulations. Oh, look at Nancy. Yay! Thank you all. It's so much fun to read the applications because it gets us all thinking about great things. And just a reminder, those ideas, along with all of the ideas that you shared with us, have made up our toolkits for voting, especially, and candidate forums. And it's all you and what you do. And now we have a place to put those ideas so you can share them with everybody else. And we hope to do more and more of that. So thank you for sharing all those ideas, and we'll do the best we can to help support them. Now, there's an opportunity here also right now. We've had a lot of questions about this for the directions to the board. Directions to the board is not just about program planning, it's about anything that come under our purview at the board at the state league. So does anyone have, oh, I got all kinds of messages down here. Okay, does anybody have directions to the board? Just send me your name and your league, and that you have a direction. You don't have to write it in the chat to me. Just send it to me that you have one. And then I will call on you to speak. Okay, Leslie Siegel.
They'll show up at the top too, which will make it
Yeah,
easy.
yeah, okay. So yeah, and raise your hand. Leslie Siegel, we can recognize you.
Thank you, Suzanne. I have 2 directions to the board. One, I would like to ask that the nominating committee ensure that the process they follow is transparent to local leagues. And I'd also like to direct the board to consider ways to build New York State voters' confidence in audited election results.
Okay, and be sure, everyone, to send those in an email to Laura, and then she will share them with the new board, and they will take whatever action they feel is appropriate. I have Barbara Thomas. Barb Thomas.
Okay, I have actually 2 directions. First,
okay.
I would like the state board to create a statewide committee to foster implementation and actions in support of our new position on criminal justice, our position on alternatives to incarceration, our position on the death penalty, and our positions on the judiciary, and call that whole thing the Justice Committee. And the other one I would like to make is that the board consider changing women's issues to gender and family issues.
Thank you, Barbara. Please remember to send that to Laura. In the chat, I have Elizabeth Talmer from Huntington.
Hi, we'd like to suggest for the board to take a more active role in the passing of the Producer Responsibility Act. and the New York Plastics Free Act, and just really be, more out there for those two bills to pass.
Okay, and I have somebody from Rochester has a direction.
Hi, yes. We would like to direct the board to find ways for members and leagues in New York to help our sister leagues in states that are facing voter suppression measures.
Oh, okay, thank you. Make sure you send it to Laura. Okay, Bella Wang from League of Women Voters of New York City. Bella, you need to unmute yourself.
Sorry, I'm holding a baby, so I'm
there. That's right.
taking a little bit longer than it should to do things. On behalf of all the delegates from the League of New York City, we asked that the board ask the nominating committee to develop a plan for cultivating more diverse state league leadership in 2023. Particularly given just, I think between the last board and this board, it has not gotten noticeably more filled with women of color or men of color. And we'd like to see a process that transparently includes consideration of that.
Okay, I am not seeing any more directions to the board in the chat. Have I caught everybody? It's easier for me to see it in the chat, or raise your hand. Okay, seeing no more directions to the board, I would like to introduce Judy Gornstein, your next president, your new president of the League of Women Voters of New York State, and give her an opportunity to tell you a little about where she's going. Judy, where are you? Have we unmuted Judy?
She can do it herself.
Right.
She can do it. Okay.
Well, thank you all. I am so greatly honored to be nominated and elected as president of the League of Women Voters of New York.
Judy, sorry to interrupt you, but your video's not on. I don't know if you planned that or not, but
I did not. I'm sorry.
Okay. There you go.
Is it on now?
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, I'll start again. I'm greatly honored to be nominated and today elected as president of the New York State League. Before saying anything else, I really want to thank Suzanne Stasovich. In 2019, when she was elected, she came with many lofty ideas and expectations, including increasing awareness and implementation of DEI, having voter service increase or get out the vote efforts, and increase the league's financial stability. And that's only three of many. Little did she know that June that a pandemic would be hitting our country in March, and New York, as well as the country, would be shutting down. Our usual way of reaching out and engaging and educating people would all need to be done virtually. Suzanne worked diligently with National League, with the state board and local leagues to enable the League of Women Voters of New York State, as well as all the local leagues, BOWs and ILOs, to have visibility and carry out their work in spite of the adverse conditions. This was a time for change and adaptation, and the League was not only able to survive, but thrive during the past 2 years. You've all heard all the great things we're doing, plus we're much more financially secure. So thank you, Suzanne. If we were holding our convention in the usual way, I would now present you with a gift, But since we are virtual, I sent the gift to you by mail and asked you to wait until now to open it. Will you open it? Can't see her now, so I have to see when she's opening it.
Yes. Oh, beautiful.
Okay.
Beautiful.
So
Women's suffrage centennial.
So when you look at and wear the centennial scarf, we hope you will remember the years that you served as president of the State League and how we, like the suffragettes, were able to handle adverse conditions and reach your goals. There's also something else besides, is there something else besides the scarf?
Oh, yes. Look at that. Yeah. Oh, yes.
Okay, there's.
I'm going to open this so they can see it.
Okay. There's a mask, which I hope you no longer will need to wear. And it's included to remind you of the time when you served as president, when there was Black Lives Matter movement and how you worked towards diversity and getting out the vote, even during the pandemic. So once again, thank you, Suzanne.
Thank you, Judy. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. It was my pleasure. I hope that during my term as president, I will not have to cope with the pandemic. I really am hoping it. Last year has definitely shown us that we cannot be sure what awaits us. I have to admit that although I am honored and flattered that you have chosen me to be president of this highly respected and very important organization, I am very, very nervous. Will I be able to fill the shoes of those wonderful, intelligent, capable, dedicated women who were past presidents of the State League? Will I be able to meet your expectations as well as my own? Will I be worthy of the trust you put in me? I hope so, but no, I cannot do it alone. I will need everyone's help. I've been given an incredible board. Each member has had years of experience with League. And over the past 11 years, when I've been on the state board, I've never been on such a diverse board. Now, I know it's not where we want to end up. We want to continue having more diversity, as was said in one of the directions to the state. But this is the most diverse we've had. So we have to look at the positive and move ahead. I know that we have the National League behind us. We heard from Dr. Turner yesterday, and today we were able to give awards to many of our leagues because National shared their wealth with us. I know that I have a wonderful staff who go beyond any reasonable expectations to perform their duties and then do more. But most of all, I know I have highly motivated leagues, MALs, and ILOs to work with. Look at all you each has accomplished. Look at the attendance at this convention. You are all remarkable. So what are my expectations for the next 2 years? I see us all working together, national, state, and local leagues. We have come so far using technology and social media. We had to go out of our comfort zone and engage people in different ways. We have begun reaching out and networking with so many diverse groups, so many organizations, and so many communities. As we are now able and hopefully continue to be able to interact really in person, not only Zoom, we will do more and more, I believe, in a hybrid fashion, combining what we know works best from in person and using social media and technology. Who knows what our next convention is going to look like? We will continue to strive for DEI within our own organization as well as the broader communities. We will always work to be perceived as nonpartisan and maintain the gold standard when it comes to voter service that we have earned. We are more important than ever. in empowering voters and defending our democracy, and we will. But we can only do this when we all work together. The state board is going to have our first board meeting this Tuesday, where we will begin planning. A Zoom meeting for all presidents, all local presidents, will be held in July. Usually, if we were in person, we would have a breakfast and we would get to know each other, and we would talk and we would see what each league is doing, and you might share with the state things that you want us to do. So we're going to hold that meeting in July, but I need all the leagues to send in the names of the presidents and their board officers as soon as possible, and send that please to Laura. This is a list that we use when we send out all our information. And please look for presidents, look for that planning of that Zoom meeting. We know there will be challenges, some which we can anticipate and some which we can't, but we will face our challenges and meet them. During this convention, it was probably the most congenial convention with the least differences and least cons I've ever been at. But during the year, when we work on all these hard issues, we know we're going to have differences with each other, and we know we can't walk away. We have to resolve them. We're the league. We will continue to grow and adapt. Our democracy works best when everyone participates. The league works best when we all participate and work together. I look forward to our journey. Thank you so much. And I'm now going to, I think, turn the meeting back to be adjourned to Suzanne.
Yes, and before I adjourn the meeting, I neglected one award. Very sorry. Regina Tillman, where are you? She has an award from the DEI workshop. You're on, Regina. Judy, Jennifer, can you? Yeah, there you go.
There I am. Yes. Well, first of all, let me thank everybody for my reelection in the position of the third president for DEI. And I want to thank all who attended Monday, our first in this series of workshops, as we in the league, New York State, begin our journey toward a more equitable and inclusive organization. And I would ask that you look for our upcoming communications of a pretty aggressive schedule of self and organizational learning opportunities coming up from July through October. So with pleasure, I would like to announce the winners of the drawing for the book written by our next workshop leader, which is scheduled for August 17th. Waking Up White and Finding Myself in the Story of Race by Debbie Irving. Selected from over 80 workshop exit surveys, which, by the way, gave us a wealth of gold in information, and many thanks for those of you who stayed and filled it out and submitted it. So out of those over 80 submissions, we have 8 winners of the book. I'll announce them here. Barbara Harrison from Ithaca, New York. Kate O'Connor, Trivoli, New York. Lisa Mertz, Mayville, New York. Barbara Thomas, Saratoga, New York. Maria Lamelfa, St. James, New York. Laura Brignall, Albany, New York. And Trimeter Carter, Syracuse, New York. And the winners will receive their book within several weeks. And we hope that all of you consider joining us for Deb's workshop on August 17th. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Regina. And now I'll take a motion to adjourn the 59th biennial meeting of the League of Women Voters of New York State. Do I have a second? Oh.
Wait, Suzanne, who made the motion? I didn't.
I did.
Oh.
Judy asked me to make the motion, so I did.
Okay.
Okay. All right. And we are adjourned.
Can we unmute to say thank you to Suzanne? Are we allowed to do that?
Thank you, Suzanne.
Thank you,
Oh,
Suzanne.
Thank you.
You,
Suzanne.
Thank you.
Thank you, Suzanne.
Welcome, new board.
Thank you.
Good job, everybody who organized this.
Yes.
Oh. Hey, you too.
Yeah.
I had a small part. You did it
We
all.
ended 2.5 hours early.
Yeah. You all were very easy on me.
You're lucky.
Thank you all.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Judy. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
How do I get out of here? There we go.
Thank you, Judy. Congratulations.
Thank you, Kate.
Congratulations, Judy.
Congratulations, Judy.
Thank you, everyone.
We look forward to working with you.
I look forward to working with all of you.
Good. You'll be a good president. Very good.
I hope. I'll try my best.
We have every confidence.